Hello, this is Rachel Babin from Oncology News Australia, proud producers of the Oncology Journal Club. In this mini episode of the Oncology Journal Club, we have the team's quick bites from ESMO 2020. We hope you enjoy listening to this standalone short segment. For the latest oncology news and podcast updates, subscribe to the Oncology newsletter for free on oncologynews.com.au. We appreciate your support. This is Rachel Babin, and this is the Oncology Podcast.
So now we're going to do a couple of really quick, snazzy, short bites about some interesting papers.
Yeah, a couple from the melanoma session, Eva, and this is our first negative study. This was spartalizumab plus dabrafenib and trametinib, there's a mouthful, in previously untreated BRAF V600 mutant unresectable metastatic melanoma, randomized phase 3 study compared to placebo dabrafenib trametinib, and it was basically a negative study, but an interesting study for patients who've progressed on or after a PD-L1 inhibitor. It was a combination of lenvatinib plus pembrolizumab, and that showed some interesting activity. It was quite an active combination, and so there's obviously a lot of interest in what to do in people post-IOs in melanoma. So there is one emerging possible option. Not only a phase 2 study, but so we'll wait and see what happens down the track.
So, Eva, did you go to the gynecology sessions? What's new there?
There were some interesting gynae papers, actually. A late-breaking abstract, positive study, randomized phase 2, palbociclib plus letrozole in around 80 patients with ER-positive advanced endometrial cancer. The ENGOT EN3 trial showed an improved PFS. Well done, no detriment in quality of life. Good to see that being measured. Conclusion warrants phase 3. Now, the ICON 8 is a really interesting GCIG phase 3 randomized trial looking at the optimal regimen and timing of chemotherapy. So it was dose dense weekly, both Pacli and carbo, or standard 3 weekly Pacli carbo, or 3 weekly carbo with weekly Pacli as first-line therapy for epithelial ovarian cancers. And it showed no difference. So really resource-wise, patient convenience-wise, 3 weekly should remain the standard therapy. And the final study I have to present because it was called the Ninja trial. It was a study done in Japan. Nivo versus Gem or pegylated liposomal dox for patients with platinum-resistant ovarian cancer. This was required patients to have had only 0 or 1 regimen since they became platinum-resistant. Quite a large trial, around 160 patients, and a negative study. So it's been a really packed edition, lots of interesting information, analysis, and of course, the one, the only, the icon, Vogel, New York.
We should call this the Dreammaker podcast because we made some cancer experts' days fulfilled by having a question posed to them by Vogel. So thank you, Steve Vogel, for calling in. It was fantastic.
Steve, you're an icon. Vogel, New York, Oncology Journal Club podcast will never be the same. And thanks, Hans. I know Vogel came because he's one of your dedicated listeners.
I'm so happy with this.
You've been listening to the Oncology Podcast. If you enjoyed today's edition and would like to subscribe, head over to our website, oncologynews.com.au, and sign up to our newsletter. Thanks for listening.